I realise I'm a little bit late starting today, just I've had things going on. Also, my family is currently employing one of my They're basically borrowing my washing machine, so I need to keep an eye out for that. Anyway, back to science.
Attention students, this is the pre-recorded voice of your pre-recorded principal.
Sonic Emitter can now disable force fields. These things. Which opens up a lot more of the areas I've previously been to. Oh, hi. Will anything new have shown up besides a few cyber dogs? Guess we'll find out. I'm still supposed to be gathering the 3 terminals for data. There's one.
Today, the cafeteria will be serving
Commencing lawful use of deadly force.
no swirlies, no chocolate pudding left in the chairs of brilliant minds. What are you going to do now, Richie Marcus?
This fugitive is on the
Someone clearly did not move on from their childhood. Or at least had some very deep trauma in there. It's a nice floor you sat on. Be a shame if it disappeared.
School is a sacred trust.
How you doing, that boy?
I am a long ago graduate of this hated facility. Now I see its worth, and see it was corrupted by fraternities and girls. Yuck.
Okay, that wasn't the one I was aiming for, but I'll take it. I kind of feel like this gun is just cheating. I know I said that previously, but it feels like cheating. Heard something over there. this is just a hunch, but I think I might have enough max charge cells for now. There you go. Anything else on this terminal, or is it just those? Yeah, it's brains in jars. Have you seen mine? Looks a bit like you, but it has a few more holes in it.
Time for
Not you. Splicing. What options have we got? Okay, so I'm allowed to do 3 experiments per day, sir. What happens when we combine a man with a robot?
Who am I? I feel different, awake, alive for the first time ever. What is this strange new world around me? What does it hold in store for a dreamer such as myself?
It's a tough break, buddy. Let's just clean that up. Okay, what happens if we combine a man and a dog? We get a mess. And then last but not least, I can imagine what we get when we combine a dog and a robot. Oh, we've already seen that one before. Oh, hey there, puppy. You want to come with me? You definitely don't have the longevity that Rex did. This one doesn't seem good. Roxy. You're just gonna sit there then? Okay.
Do not attempt to breach the Fate Mountain force fields. Doing so could allow dangerous ideas and/or creatures having those ideas to escape.
I'm discovering a map marker in this direction. What do we have? Where's it gone? There we go. Eastern Tunnel, which has been thoroughly ploughed by Elijah, according to reports. Okay, so... Well, the main... Yeah, I think when I tried to go into X12 the last time, I needed the sonic emitter upgrade, so that should sort that. Oh, yeah. And thought about this as well. I'll be taking it. Well, that's it. I hear rattling, but I don't see rattling. Yeah, I think there was some false building that sat in that thing as well, wasn't there? Yeah, let's see what you're hiding there. It would appear I've entered the bone zone. Come here, bones. Seconds up, we got dog gun. They might keep me on my toes, those skeletons. Oh, was that the last one you needed? Cool. Apparently there's also a key in here somewhere. Or apparently not. I'll deal with this since I'm in the vicinity of the sink, and then we'll work from there.
You require some additional services?
Yeah, what does the Y7 implant do? Bonus HP and AP from food. That could actually be useful. Hey, Muggy.
Hi again, sweetie. Hi again, sweetie.
So, can you turn the lights on for me?
You bet I can.
Really sets the mood.
Well, hello.
So I don't.
Between you and me, I think the Central Intelligence Unit is a bit of a snob.
He's right there.
You're going to need to find yourself some empties first before I can fill them for you. Any empty bottle will do. Just not too dirty, okay?
All right.
How can I illuminate you?
That all you? Who's missing upgrades? There we go.
Might I be of service, sir?
I don't think I need anything for now. Thank you. Where is he? Boros, a word.
So, you put down Gabe. Thank you. A scamp, but really, his highly augmented combat programming could have proved meddlesome. In any event, thank you for putting him down. One less test subject to catalog and sort. Clearly a failure of Doggy's cybo-engineering.
Jesus, man, do you have any compassion for your test subjects? I mean, do you just look at this bowl? Do you feel anything?
What? Why, yes, it is. I used to leave it outside his doghouse, chock full of chems, before the cybernetic modifications, of course. And no matter how chemmed the food, he would always eat it, and his tail would wag, even while you know, I'm having the most perplexing feelings squiggling through my biogel. I can't quite pin it down.
Dogs are pretty loyal. Seems no matter what you did to him, he still was by your side.
Why, yes. Gabe. No matter how awful my day had been, he was always waiting there. How odd. My gel is decoagulating. And when I would talk to him about Betsy, and how Marcus would beat on me and call me Smarty's sissy pants, he'd just sit there, head on my knee, and... If you don't mind, I'll take that bowl. Just need to remove it. Put it away, somewhere out of radar range. For some reason, its similarity to the crater shape of Big Mountain is starting to fill up all available cognitive spaces. That, combined with my own overwhelming feeling of having done something terrible, the two were hitting me with unexpected force.
As I said, it sounds like he trusted you. It sounds like you might have betrayed that trust.
I can't seem to not think about it. How odd. This sensation is unpleasant. I don't care for it. I don't care for this place either. And I feel as if we've forgotten something. Still, it is no matter. Crush the feeling down. Crush it down. Push it into the loop. Yes. Forgotten. Almost. Yes? I do not need to remember anymore. Not today.
Okay then. There is no getting through to that guy. Oh, let's see you two. Got anything new to do? Got time for some questions? So, what did you do to the Sonic emitter before you gave it to me? I mean, hey, needs most. Yeah, if you find some stale cram laying about, you can still put it to use. Okay. By the way, I fully upgraded the emitter. I mean, it's a little slow on the draw for my tastes, but yeah, at least being able to get through force fields is handy. You good there? I think something's getting lost in translation. I mean, it's definitely a field of signs I've never seen before, so kudos to you for that. Well, I'll tell you what, I have seen it one before, but it involved a giant robot grabbing some pylons. Also, thanks, those are helpful. So, can you tell me anything about what happened to your voice box? Okay, so... yeah, from what I gather, someone reprogrammed you. Yeah, I've been there. Alright, alright. So what can you tell me about the sonic emitter, anyway? Interesting. So that... yeah, your house was in that warehouse in the crater? Get the feeling yours was... the... how many are there? I mean, 2 patrolled, I may have already grabbed both. Anyway, later. Right, I'll be back in just a second. Alright, off we go again. How you doing, Klein?
Did you retrieve the technologies? Well, we didn't actually do it. We tried to clean up after, as always, but usually the auto dock runs on remote. But we programmed it, or Mobius did. Still, this new wrinkle with the Tesla coils in your skull was unexpected. I mean, we predicted we'd have a breakthrough eventually, but Dala knows more. She supervised your spine peel and the heart circumcision, then dumped them both into the tanks in the sink above. Quite sanitary. Sure took her time. She always takes longer than projected with lobotomite surgeries. Not sure why.
I mean, have you talked to her recently? Also, so you're saying that Mobius might have my brain?
Yes. In all probable likelihoods, yes. Possibly. That it may have gone to Mobius is merely an inkling. I don't know why, but it may be something involving the surgery code. Actually, I don't know. All I know is it misplaced itself, or it floated off. They get into robots sometimes and go on a tear.
I mean, if Mobius originally programmed it, then presumably he might have had some backdoor in it that takes any valuable organs to his repository.
Yes, always leaves back doors into things. Have to keep finding them and closing them. The auto dock is now erased of his routines. It was thorough. Only Mobius would know for sure what happened with the procedure. Perhaps. Well, and your brain, of course, it would know as well.
What do you mean?
It can communicate the procedure when we examine it. It is conceivable to trace its surgical scalpel prints once we have the brain. Might take some time, but your brain has no pain nerve to scream at us while we dissect it. Convenient. I detest screaming in my lab.
So, what was that autodoc surgery code you mentioned?
Mobius's legacy code was in the old auto dock. Yes, it fried itself after your procedure, so he couldn't tell for sure. It is unfortunate. We would have benefited from knowing how the breakthrough occurred. Even if we installed another chip, the information is lost.
And do you have any idea why Mobius would want my brain?
Why does he seek our destruction? Why did he build robot scorpions with intelligence training stingers? It is because he hasn't cleaned his biogel in a long time. Clearly he's got some sort of psychological corrosion. He's mad.
Yeah, you keep mentioning that the robot scorpions consume intelligence. What do you have to back that up?
Dr. O is certain of his findings, and no one else in the think tank is willing to test the results. Loss of brainial power. Terrifying. O has said on many occasions his inability to comprehend Mobius's robo-schematics is because of repeated robo-scorpion stings.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
I love to hear you breathe.
You get no less creepy. Oh, back out. So I think all I'm searching for... Right, audio samples for the jukebox. I can do that.
Go, my mighty robo-scorpions, crawl in search of intelligence. There, Sting said intelligence. Sting it.
My name is just off since I left the think tank. Oh, more lobotomites, great. Okay, you literally just appeared in front of me. I wasn't aware getting your brain removed give you the ability to phase in and out of reality. If so, when do I get that power? And then again, at some point I did have the stealth nanobots installed, and then removed. Okay. Okay, so... Can't get all the audio samples until I get the rest of the technologies. Got it. I'm actually going to say size matters, because from what I looked into in the downtime between sessions, I think this does actually affect things like Tesla cannons. What now? More robo-scorpions? Seriously, turn around and they were right there. trying to kill me now. Guess I'm heading back to X8. A workbench somewhere in here. Yeah, down in there. How did I never realize I could get down here? Yep, something tells me whatever was in here has escaped. You know, call it a hunch. That's quite clear. No, there's night stalkers in this area now. Apparently so. Hello, Tron. Free protonic inverse flanks, don't mind if I do. Right, I was looking for a workbench, wasn't I? I got distracted. There's not one there. Yes, let me just get rid of more cameras. Coffee mugs. Scrap metal, bunch of sensor modules, bunch of those. I'm pretty sure I can leave some of this behind. So, don't need those. Don't need those. Don't need those. Don't need those. Definitely don't need those. Probably only need about half of those. Don't need overcharge. Don't need this. And again, only need about half of those.
If you haven't found any communists in your backyard, you're not looking.
Okay, don't need the spare Sabadol gun, don't need all those spares. Don't need those proton throwing axes.
Hard enough.
Well, hello.
There we go, let's bring my carry weight down a bit. And while I'm here,
Well, hello there.
we go. Now all I think I need is a nap. Give it a couple hours. There's one disassembled cyber dog. Sorry, Pooch. Hey, Roxy, you still here? Yeah. Yeah, if you just want to chill here, Pooch, that's fine. That is incredibly heavy for a jumpsuit. Trying to hold the lobotomized back with lead-lined clothes. Scared they're going to become too powerful? Oh, hi. Last close quarters is not my preferred... Hello? Yeah, close quarters. Not my preferred engagement distance when I'm using something like this. Then again, why am I bitching? I could literally just, at the push of a button, have my pistol out. Okay, so I've got to run through the test again, but this time there are Night Stalkers in there, presumably. Where's the medicine skeleton gone? The real question, do I get anything for actually doing this all over again? I mean, I know it's part of the quest, so it's presumably leading up to something. Okay, so apparently they really don't know how to handle it if you're standing on the holographic floor. Good to know. And so I need to advance tests with the unusual specimens now as well. This better be leading up to something, Boros.
Do not.
Please place all incinerator chute in the sink, especially those with funny pictures of me in them.
Oh, silly snake dog. If only you knew you could stand on the floor. I don't, we're done. That's something. I'll take it. Good go. Yeah, somewhere else we got. I think it's just head over to X2 and then get all the audio samples for the jukebox, and then presumably get all the dried seeds for the biological research station. So, X2 it is. That'll work. Thank you, robots. Let's say, excuse me, I seem to have fallen on the wrong side of the pacification field here. I would very much like to get out of the way of it.
Killing things. You may want to run.
I believe you were not that great at killing things. So all this should already be cleared out, so I just need to head up top. Yeah, I've seen one of these dishes before, except this time they filled the holes in. I'll be taking that.
Trying to steal the X2 transmitter array antenna, are you? You won't succeed. Not if my evil robo-scorpions have any say in the matter.
Well, I already started on size matter, so I might as well continue with that.
You won't escape me. All right, everyone, calm down. Might have been a blip. Dr.
Oh no, it's bones. Don't ask me how you get blood sausage from a skeleton. How am I halfway to level 52 already?
Ooh, baby. Let's turn off the lights and turn on the lights.
Gold.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
Yes, I have all your technologies.
What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections. Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful.
Alright then, Genius, what now?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You didn't think you'd make it this far, did you?
No. I mean, yes. You just need to analyze these technologies for a moment. They are extremely advanced, you know?
I think you just answered my question.
I know how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them? Yes, so let me, a bit. I'll figure it out.
Okay, so first of all, I yanked a big chunk out of a transmitter tower, so that's got to have done something.
So you're saying it's the X2 array, not the antenna I should be examining? That was Most likely my plan, yes. Let me check something. Of course, I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics. Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains. It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers very sloppy, Mobius. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency, and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock, yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his.
Yeah, something doesn't seem to quite add up with your statement. I mean, all the items you had me collect, they seem a little more biologically focused. Especially considering they seem to resonate with cardiac, spinal, and brainwave aspects.
Heal you? What, put you back together like some giant hard-boiled yum-yum deviled egg? I mean, technically, these items could all be used to put you back together once you had your brain. But for now, they can be used in the name of aggression. The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. And that message is science. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now. That's your cue.
Alright, thanks. Okay, I will be back in just a second. Alrighty, back to it. So I need to puff it over to the Forbidden Zone. These men are the Robo-Scorpions are sending at me getting steadily beefier. I had to say something about the Robo-Scorpions getting beefier, didn't I? It is a big fucking Robo-Scorpion. You and me, Cole. Apparently not. Sorry, that was worth how much experience? Oh shit. Ooh, there. Audio sample Mobius's Robo-Scorpion. Means they want me to go for those. Two different places and they're very close by, so... I'm not in any rush. Immaculately done. Okay, hold on. Okay, so yeah, I could have just darted around and come up here, opened the door, and done the emergency shutdown, but alas, apparently I'm just that horrifically broken with all the mods I have on that I didn't need to. Let me get out of this chasm. I'll do. Yeah, it sorts that out. Wow, robot. And again, can I really comment on someone being a robot considering how much cybernetics I've got in me at this point? Apparently the think tank didn't think I had enough, so they just put them on trading me. Although technically, considering I lost all the levels I gained from the Capital Wasteland, would that make me like a level 100 and something at this point? Hey, Muggy. Jefferson.
What's the haps?
Just got some tunes for you, my man.
Right on, Daddy-o. Just plug it in and I'll mix you up a sweet, sweet sound. Right on.
So the options we got are Opera Singer, Gabriel's Bark, Revelation, Robo Scorpion, and Tarantula. Let's see what Robo Scorpion does. Critical hits cause explosions.
You got some plans for me, don't you? Yeah, I can smell it all over you.
It's our time again. Receive my seed.
Ah, yeah, baby. Just slip it in there. All the...
No, detour over. To the north. Got where it was for a minute then. Sneak up on me, will you? God damn, I'm trying to do a thing here. Welcome to the Dome of the Forbidden Zone. It's a lot more green. Okay, so that's a very large rollover in. Hello there.
Huh? Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Okay. Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
I'm not opposed to freebies.
I love mentats, delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-erific thoughts and ideas when those chalky talents are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
Alright. Truth be told, you are not what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
So... why did you take my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
So... would that be a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel this one is especially important. Oh well.
Well, since you don't seem to be immediately hostile, I was curious about some things.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Or maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
I mean, I don't have the tools on hand to fix a broken monitor of all things, but maybe I can jury-rig something. I'm good at that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
Okay. You just seem like an eccentric old man. Why do you keep threatening the think tank in that case?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Okay. So what can you tell me about your robo-scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, What if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
Wait. It sounds like you built the Roller Scorpions and then issued threats to keep the rest of the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Is some reason for it? Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the raisins better than I do.
I mean, everything you've told me so far doesn't seem to add up. And come to think of it, you've got a very similar name to the rest of the think tank. It's a bit weird.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I. Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop and our perception programming.
So you reprogram the names as part of a recursion loop?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
So you've designed a recursion loop to prevent the flow of data, which probably explains why they've forgotten some things that have happened recently.
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan C's in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. Probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan Bs in case the A's fail.
So yeah, they're all based on concepts of infinity.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional.
think you may. Well, you've done it several times, but I think you've been mispronouncing some words here. It's Ouroboros, not Ouroboros.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
So, you have them essentially cyber-lobotomized, but why the Robo-Scorpion armor?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
Think Tank already had other visitors, though, so what makes me different?
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
Okay, was it the 2 bullets I got in the head outside of Goodsprings, or was it the chunk of brain I'm missing because of someone in Point Lookout?
Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the auto dock in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
Thing is, Klein said they had the idea to get the 3 technologies after your broadcast. Is that a coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
Okay, that's a bit of a problem. They have the schematics for those. They can rebuild them sooner or later.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Well, I knew they were hiding something from me, so... Can you go into detail of what they need them for?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Okay, did you broadcast any other data in your broadcast?
My overly aggressive, cammed up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
Okay then.
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just filled with these little slices of curiosity, aren't you?
Okay, well, in any case, I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
Very well. Well, you've been interesting to talk to, Mobius.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Let's see. I've already got 4 ranks in size matters. Well, I'll start leveling up Iron Fist. And I'm also going to quick save there, just so I don't have to go through all that dialogue again if something happens. In any case, I'll be back very shortly. I might have to take a little bit of a look around, do you, Mobius? Oh, I think we...
Attached to the neutron. The neutron's attached to the meson. Meson's connected to the proton.
Yeah, I think we found out who all the mentats in Higgs Village belong to. Dude might have an addiction.
I do so love integers.
Look, another lair.
Thought in my body. Have them all removed.
I've got so many mentats. Oh, this room's actually got the lights on.
Electrons attached to the neutron.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Okay, I'm having a conversation with my own brain.
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
I mean, I know I've been sarcastic in the past, but come on, you gotta admit this is a little weird.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
I mean, put bluntly, I've been busy.
Oh yes, I rather expect you have. You must have been swamped, you poor dear. Why don't you relax and put your feet up? I've just been traumatically scooped out of my body and plugged into this jar. That's all. But you've been busy.
Okay, why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Well, who else is going to be responsible?
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone? Do you know where those come from? Glands. They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
Yeah, and most of those glands are in you, unless you're blaming this on my thyroid.
Well, look, it's all a very complex system of biofeedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Oh, come on, surely you get something out of that feedback loop as well.
Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it.
So, question, how did Mobius get hold of you after you were pulled out of my head?
After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
How do you manage that?
I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
It seems a little bit of a faux pas to say this around here, but that seems like an unlikely coincidence.
Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it.
Well, that answers that.
Well, as long as your curiosity is satisfied.
So, you sure you don't want to get back in my head?
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
I mean, okay, I can see your point, so what can I do to make this a fair compromise?
If you want me back, we need to establish some ground rules. First, showers! Second, regular checkups. Regular, mind you, and from a reputable doctor. That Julie Farkas woman, for example, she seems to know a thing or two. Third, you need to listen to me more than your hormonal choir and genitalian orchestra. Promise me that, and you've got a deal.
Alright, fine.
Really? I didn't expect you to actually agree to that. I'm afraid that was a bit of a bluff, really. I'm not going with you.
So what? You'd just rather stay in that tank of biomed elf until you expire?
Well, certainly there might be some things I miss about being ambulatory. We have seen some incredible sights, haven't we? Jason Bright and his followers launching into the vast unknown. Helios 1 coming back online. But still, given the tremendous, potentially life-ending peril that went along with those, yes, I'd rather stay here.
Now, I don't mean to sound judgmental, but are you sure you're only feeling like that because you're lacking certain hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, we're kind of at an impasse. Just, you need me for certain things, and I need you for certain things. Together, we make a coalescent being. We're a symbiotic relationship.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
As I've just said, we kind of need each other.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. there's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So, what do you say? Feel like getting back out there? Or back in the saddle?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Then I suggest we go make them share.
Oh, lovely. We've reached the mindless violence portion of the program. Tell me, what exactly are you, and I use the word loosely, planning?
Well, you've been in my head a long time. You've seen some incredible light shows. Let's go introduce them to some of that.
Oh, energy weapons, yes. I'd almost forgotten how much fun those are. How do we proceed then?
If they don't want to hold up their end of the bargain, we'll make them. I'm pretty sure we both remember points in the past where we've been double-crossed and how we dealt with it. So let's go do that one more time for old time's sake.
Right. Look out, Think Tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the Think Tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Great, so first of all I was carrying a chunk of brain around in my back pocket. Now I'm just carrying around my full brain. Oh, alright, back to the think tank.
You require some additional services?
First of all, let's see what happens when I replace my spine. It's also going to be crippled again. That's a negligible downside. I can't remember the last time I had a crippled limb. But strength and damage threshold bonuses have been doubled. Hello, Mary Rose. No, I'm not looking for anything like that at the moment. Okay, so what does
You require
swapping
some
that heart back do for me? Well, I'll take that. I'm good for now, thanks. As I said, I already said I'm not interested in anything like that at the moment. Alright then, let's go. Let's hold some brains. Ah, hey guys, I see you set the mood with the lighting. I thought you'd be happy to see me.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I have found my brain again, Klein. You and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. We need to talk.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Oh, you fool! You think I'm the brain of a lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Dr. Mobius!
Same thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Oh, my dear friend, nothing is impossible for science. Masons, lasers, atoms, brainwaves, they're all at my command.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
I will permit you to do this. For me.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
These are resolutions all round.
Thank you for what you have done. The helping, that is. We like that. I feel an odd emotion. Gratitude? Attitude? No, wait. Gratitude. That's it. Yes.
Well, he bought it.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The Sync atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
Already betrothed to another
continued
22.
to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The Sync continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose.
Oh no.
It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough, and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8
Happy ending for the
multiple
bones.
times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued
My
onwards,
boy Rex.
a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond. Although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Alright, steady down, guys. Okay, it doesn't seem like... Easy there, Diode Jefferson.
I trust matters regarding your brain were resolved to your satisfaction.
Indeed they were, Doc.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I can swap out my brain at any time. Okay, so if I fire this, where does it bring me out? Oh, won't function while I'm in an interior. To the balcony! Fair enough.
Don't even talk to me. I've seen you with her.
Right, I shall do that momentarily. Okay, so just out of interest.
Planning to stay a while, I could.
So if I swap out my brain. To be honest, I think head trauma has just been reduced in effectiveness.
If you're planning to stay a while.
Might as well take a nap while I'm here.
Look out! Communist! No, false alarm. It was just a blink.
I wonder how much I've missed while I've been gone. I wonder how long I've actually been gone. Well, either way, I need to choose which DLC location to head to next, and I think it's gonna be Honest Hearts, because why not? So, about 10,000 meters that way. Sorry, 10,000 feet. Kind of a little different when you have so. Thing is, the DLC areas are all nice, small, self-contained areas. You can get around them fairly easily, and you've got a good chunk to explore. It's a little bit jarring when you get back to normality. Also, good lord, this thing is effective outside of the big empty. Prospector. I don't have my travelling clothes on me. I've only got my medium outfit. Oh, I was hoping to get some zoom on. Yeah, here's the thing. I genuinely can't tell if there's a difference in my running speed when I've got my brain or when I've got the Tesla coils in there.
Honored to speak with you, sir.
Don't bother me, I'm on patrol.
Paladins.
As much as I'm sick of Taggart to the arsenal, I have to admit we wouldn't be combat ready without.
Yeah, it's still neat seeing the effects of what I've done. Yeah, here's the slightly annoying thing about I suppose it's not that big of an issue, but all the starting locations for the DLCs are basically on opposite ends of the map to each other. So yeah, Old World Blues was at the very bottom. Honest Hearts is basically at the top of the map, and then the starting locations for the Lonesome Road and Dead Money are also basically on opposite ends of the map to each other. What are you doing, Gecko?
Mr. House is out of the picture. Probably killed by his own robot.
I'm afraid the explanation is far more low-tech than that. That reminds me, I haven't been to Good Springs in a while. I wonder how things have changed up here since the game ended. There's an NCR toll booth in here, so that's not a good sign.
Hey there. Need any?
Nah. If Trude's got anything to say about that one. Well, Easy Pete's gone, so that's concerning.
Some cons got cornered in the ruins of Boulder City, but the NCR let them go. That's unusual.
So, you're just refusing to move then? Yeah, Sunny Smiles and Sharon are gone as well.
When I got this assignment, I was hoping there'd be more gambling.
No, you're still around, Chet.
You looking to buy some supplies?
I'm pretty sure the town could just erode to dust and Chet would still be here if there was something to sell. Oh, hey, Doc, you're still here.
How are you holding up?
That's always nice to see. He hasn't been turfed out.
It's been a long tour. All I can think about.
No, and get to the starting location for the next DLC, and then I think I'm going to call it there. Just, I know it's been a bit of a shorter one today, but I've not, my mood hasn't been entirely there, and yeah, I'm just kind of struggling to keep going. Well, were you just planning on raiding the entire town of Goodsprings by yourself there, Legion Martyr? I can appreciate the commitment, but you know, you've got to know when you're out of your depth. Well, look on the bright side, at least you got disintegrated rather than blown to bits. Hi guys.
Sorry, no time to talk, outsider.
Get out of here with that nonsense. Okay. I think the lair falls under the energy other category, so I think I need... Alright, you guys are vipers. Yeah, I think I need something like a plasma rifle to repair this thing. Again, what is the end goal here? You are one man against... Well, I'm basically classed as an army at this point.
We put our trust in Hanlon and look where it got us.
God, are you the one who saved President Kimball?
Oh, someone's packing a Desert Eagle.
Oh my God, are you the one who saved President?
Among other things.
When I got this assignment, I was hoping there'd be more gambling.
We're better off with those slaver bastards, St. James.
We're better off with those slaver bastards.
No, wait, there's a point. I've just remembered something. Honest Heart. I'm pretty sure it only lets you actually go if you're carrying like £100, or I think you can get it up to £150 of equipment with a speech check. I'm gonna have to quickly swim back around to Lucky 38.
Smart move for the Kings to back down.
Oh my God, are you the one who...
Only I can keep you safe.
Hey.
Hey, you're the one who's...
Oh, crikey, 78. We're moving up in the world.
If it can be bought.
That's an NCR trooper. I thought it was someone waiting to mug me.
Oh my God, are you the one who saved me?
Wish I could have been there to see Caesar die.
El Presidente Suites. Howdy, folks. Don't mind me, I'm just here to drop off a few things. Okay, I believe that should do things.
So far.
We'll see how long that lasts. We'll have to see how long that one lasts, because so far the Elijah's enhanced
Your safety guaranteed.
lead is not, or rather hasn't proven to be particularly durable, so I might have to fall back on the laser rifle here. Because once you're in Zion, you ain't coming back for a while. Then again, that kind of rings true for all the DLCs apart from Lonesome Road. Most of them are, you're trapped in the DLC area until the DLC is finished with. Lonesome Road is, yeah, you can turn back at any time. This nonsense is hard. We expect you to prepare accordingly. And sometimes if you have to turn back, that's fine. Wasn't bad. Where?
There you are.
Are you okay? Yeah, let me see if I can help you with that. No, he's just stuck in the wall. Alrighty, and that, as I said, is where I'm going to leave it for now. So yeah, I'm not sure when I'll be back with this. It'll probably be next Monday, but in the meantime, if you're there, thanks for joining me. But for now, ta-ra.